Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I wanted to show you guys some of the weapons that I've collected for crafting and what I believe that you guys should craft using Void 3.0 and also for general usage going forward. Today I'm going to show two of them that I have used a lot, the palmyra-b that I have crafted and used way too much, and this likely suspect fusion rifle that is really good with Void 3.0, specifically with volatile rounds. Also, this one is just a favorite weapon of mine. It's nothing meta, but I really love it. So the palmyra-b legendary craftable rocket launcher is apparently unlocked after you complete the first quest, essentially with crafting, and so you can just get this pattern right away. I would say the best way to level it up is to go to a Shuro-chi checkpoint. And if you don't know what that is you go to the Last Wish raid, and you go to the Wall of Wishes, and you put in the wish for Shuro-chi, and I'll show you that in a second. And so if you've never been here, this is the Shuro-chi encounter location. All you have to do to start the encounter is walk up to that door. Also, a fun fact, there is a free chest. If you work your way back as a hunter, it can be a little irritating, but I recommend hopping up here, and then you can get over there, and then you can start working your way down all the way to where that tree is way over there, and that's where the free chest is. I've already opened it for the week. And the nice thing about this area is that there is a rally flag, so you can just place a rally banner and walk up to the encounter to get full heavy ammo or special ammo or whatever you're using. Of course, for primaries, you don't need this. And then I usually stand over here so she doesn't do that AoE attack she normally does. And look at all these thrall. Look at all those. All that counted towards your weapon XP right there. See, my weapon already leveled up. So, it is a great place to go to level up all of your weapons and finish deep sight resonances and all that stuff. And I recommend that you keep a checkpoint for all three weapons that I show if you wish to level them as well. So when you load into Last Wish, go through the raid as normal. And I'm on my hunter now, so because I had the wish put in already on my warlock, I didn't want to do it again. So um, come in through the raid as normal. You'll see Tower of Opened Eyes. This is the where the first encounter starts. Actually, if you go through this door right here, do not go through that door. I mean, you can, but come back out. And I think you can make the jump up here if you're a warlock or a titan. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I've done it consistently as a warlock. You can just hop up uh, from down there and hop up onto these little rocks. Yep. Okay. You can do it. So it takes some finagling, but you can get from all the way down there to all the way up here, and this is where you want to go to get to the wishing wall. So this right here is the wall of wishes, whatever you want to call it, wishing wall. So what you do is once you've found the wish you want to put in, by the way, there are charts of this on the internet. Just put in stuff like Last Wish, Wall of Wishes, Destiny 2, and into Google, and you'll get picture after picture of people who have found everything but Wish 15 for some reason, um, and put them on the wall and put them out on the wall. And every time you do that, you come in and it'll wipe you and teleport you to wherever you want to go after you do that. You step on this plate. Now you shoot these little circle things. This is the first part of this wish. So what you do is you just match the image online with this. Like these are the first three down here are all of this 8 snake, as we call it. This one's supposed to be a downward swooping bird, as we put it, but it doesn't matter what they're called. Just shoot it until you get the matching symbol. All right, so this is the Shuro-chi wish here. Be sure to pause it if you need to copy it. Also, if you mess up and shoot the wrong symbol or overshoot the wrong symbol, all you have to do to clear it is keep shooting it until the symbol goes blank again, and you can restart the cycle. But this is the wish if you need to go to Shuro-chi, so I recommend pausing it if you need it. And then when you go to start it, you come up to this plate, go here. It'll say you wish to stay here forever, and you die. And then after you wipe, you spawn in front of the Shirochi encounter, like I showed earlier, as my warlock. So as you are leveling up your palmyra-b, I think it is only at like level 15 or so. I don't know what level it is. I'm at level 41. I think it's like level 15 or so that you can get the quote-unquote god roll combination of auto-loading holster, explosive light, impact casing, and hard launch. Now, the barrel doesn't really make that big of a difference on a rocket launcher. Hard launch is the best in my opinion because it gives the most velocity. And a long time ago, I saw a video, and I don't know who made it, but I watched some video that said blast radius is inversely proportional to damage. So rocket damage is actually decreased by like small percentages based on how big the blast radius is. It's the same with grenade launchers. So a really big blast radius has a debuffed damage, whereas a very small blast radius is a very high point damage, if that makes sense. So this has the most velocity, which is the speed that the rocket goes, um, and the least blast radius from other options. And then impact casing, the reason you want this, and you'd say stability is not important, but it also says increased damage on direct hits. So the direct hit is a extra 3% damage on the rocket's total damage, which essentially, by the way, negates the precision frame debuff, just so you know. Precision frames are now doing, after the changes of last season, 5% less damage than rockets did before, and I think its adaptives are doing 5% more. But if you look at the damage dealt on this rocket versus even Hothead, the the differences are negligible, especially if you're using it in the DPS combo. The differences are this thing's just better. And then auto loading holster. So the $1 million question is enhanced auto loading holster worth it? I have seen that people have tested that it is literally a 0.07 second decrease to the charge time. So the auto loading holster takes about 2.5 seconds, and so this makes it like by logic 2.43 seconds, which one of my friends, Outcuber, said that it's worth it, that the extra frames might actually help out when you're doing a DPS combo, but it's really expensive to spend an enhanced or ascended alloy, I mean, for 0.07 seconds to me. So if you wish to get that, then go ahead. Otherwise, I just wouldn't waste the alloy. And then the same with Explosive Light. Explosive Light is really good because if you pick up an orb, it greatly increases the blast radius and damage of the next rocket. In this case, blast radius is not a debuff. It because explosive light is just so unbelievably high damage that we don't even know how to quantify the decrease. So it probably isn't one. Is kind of the way I'm looking at it. This is how people have consistently two-phased Rulk is this weapon with Izanagi's Burden. I would not waste your Ascendant Alloys and time on enhancing this trait because it only gives you +5 velocity, so I would not even worry about that. Also, Hake Breach armaments means that any vehicles that you hit with this thing take way more damage. So it's good against tanks, for instance, in like the Vox Obscura mission. The next weapon that I want to talk about that's pretty darn cool and reminds me of the utility that Null Composure had from last season, but then also beats it by a little bit, is Likely Suspect. This fusion is really unique. Of course, it looks cool, in my opinion, with the Trinity shader that's being sold in Eververse this week. This thing has access to some pretty cool trait combos. I went with Enhanced Stats for All and Enhanced Wellspring for the extra ability energy. While you can roll damage perks on Likely Suspect, I would say there's almost not a point because of volatile rounds. So if you don't know what I mean by that, if you come down to volatile flow, picking up a void elemental well, which are really easy to spawn now, by the way, grants your void weapon volatile rounds. Every shot with a volatile rounds weapon explodes violently. And on top of that, if the bullet you fire one-shots the enemy, they explode anyway. So it doesn't even matter. It's like if you've ever played Middle Tree Titan last season, a Middle Tree Void Titan, before it got changed into Void 3.0, it's that devastating, but on every shot you have for like 17 seconds. I'm not even kidding. And if you buy the fragment from Ikora, you can get them from just getting a grenade kill. So if you defeat a target with a grenade, you get volatile rounds to your weapons, and this is active again for like 10 seconds. It's a little shorter for the fragment than it is for volatile rounds from the mod, but it still is incredibly damaging, as you can see by me having 900 kills on this weapon. There are some other roles that you can get on this fusion, I would say. There is a question in what masterwork you might want. Um, so on the Palmyra, for instance, that I used, I have a reload masterwork because maybe I might reload it, even though it has auto-loading holster. A lot of people would go with velocity. For the fusion rifles are heavily dependent on two things: stability and range. The question comes in is that will stability help you hit more targets, more pellets on targets, or would you rather have the or minus 40 millisecond charge time, which makes it fire even faster? And so that's a really good question that I would leave up to you guys because a 420 charge time is not only nice, but it is super fast. I would say for fusions, the barrel really comes down to what you want. I wanted the most range possible because this thing has by default a super low range stat, and fusion rifles are very bad about damage fall off. So I would recommend something like extended barrel, or even full bore if you wanted to kill the stability a little bit, which I guess probably would be better for me. But I don't know. I would recommend one of these two, and then I really like accelerated coils for the extra charge time. Um, but if you don't want that, you could go with enhanced battery. I think to get up to 8. Yep, 8 in the mag. Or you could go the other route and do liquid coils for extra damage. But then again, volatile rounds, you don't need it. And now for the other perks. So I recommend out of the perk options in column 3, which is this one right here, I like stats for all because it improves reload speed, range, and handling. So improving all three of those means that you get essentially free feeding frenzy, for instance, which allows you to, after kills, reload really quickly, like Null Composure had. It also buffs the two important stats that govern fusion rifle effective range, which is range and stability. And the more that you have of those is the farther the weapon, kills effectively. Also buffs handling, which makes this thing feel like it has quick draw, which is really nice. And stats for all is nice. It lasts for a good, I'd got to say, 12 or 13 seconds. I haven't really quantified the enhanced trait, but it makes it better. That's my personal choice. The runner up for me would actually be Slideways. So, in even the one that I might try sometime, enhanced slideways, I don't know what the difference is, but normal slideways I've had on weapons in the past, and what it does is it'll reload the mag a little bit. It's for a weapon of this mag size, I would guess it's a +2 to the mag every time you slide and proc slideways. So it'll reload 2 from reserves, and then it'll also buff your handling and stability. So you get a little bit of the buff of stats for all without having to hit targets for just sliding, and you'll get a stability bump as well, but it reloads the weapon. So that's probably nice for stringing it infinitely, but I think the reload speed is better since you will have stats for all up all the time if you're using this weapon like a grenade launcher, which is kind of the way I was looking at it. It's just kind of something that you wipe rooms with more than anything else. And then for column 4, um, I have enhanced Wellspring on because it gives extra ability energy. I am an ability kid. Anytime I can throw a grenade, I will, and especially since that procs volatile rounds using that fragment. So I like this because it gives ability energy to all three of your abilities: your melee, your grenade, and your class ability. So that's good for specifically Titans with their new Overshield Barricade, or I guess Hunters with the Invisibility Dodge. Enhanced Wellspring supposedly increases the amount of energy. I'm not sure if it actually does right now. I bought it anyway because I believe it does. If it does, it's like probably a frame or two. I know Error did some testing with Enhanced Demolitionist and found that it didn't work, but eventually they will buff it, I'm certain. If it's supposed to be better, it's going to be better. I think it worked. This is my first choice, is just to get abilities up all the time. My other choices are actually Successful Warm-Up, which I haven't quite unlocked yet on this one, but Successful Warm-Up was on one of my first rolls of this weapon that I got from random drops. Successful Warm-Up is unbelievable. So it drops the charge time once you get a kill, that or like once you get a few kills, it drops the charge time to like 200 or 100 milliseconds, like 0.2 seconds. And so you literally just pull the trigger and it fires, essentially, is what it feels like. And so it essentially turns a fusion rifle into a super long range shotgun. And given that you can proc volatile rounds with that, you can quickly fire out a full mag and just wipe a room, right? And have successful warm up proc the whole time, because it gets refreshed every time you get kills too. So it would feel like Merciless but better, but it requires a kill. So Merciless is an exotic fusion rifle. Also, you could go the damage route. Of the 3 damage perks, Adagio slows your charge time, but it makes it hit harder. I would recommend against that in this case, even though my first one that I used was an Adagio roll. And if you're playing PvP, Adagio is great. Adagio makes this thing hit for like it's either 40 or 60 per pellet, which means, and since rapid fire fusions fire 9 pellets, that's like, in theory, that's only four pellets, 4 to 5 pellets to kill your average guardian, and that's unbelievably good, unbelievably easy to hit with a high stability stat and a high range stat. So you could go that route. Another good trait combo that you could run is stats for all, one for all, because they proc at the exact same time, and you get 10 seconds of bonus damage. I think it's like 20 or 25%. That's a pretty standard Bungie number for damage perks. So it's not as high as Rampage 3, or higher than something like Multi Kill Clip 1. And then Golden Tricorn is another really good one to mix with ability spam builds. So if you're running Devour, which you can run on all 3 classes now, you can have get ability kills all the time with your grenade, and Devour, every kill recharges your grenade. So what you could do with Tricorn is you get a kill with the fusion, and that gives you I think it's a 15% buff. And then if you get an ability kill while that's active, it goes up to 50%. And the gun gets like really juiced for like 10 seconds. This is something that I've considered using on this fusion because of the unbelievable damage it would do to majors. It probably would one shot most like strike and nightfall majors, at least on the lower end. So that would be a really fun perk to play around with a little bit. And the last perk in this column that I would consider is Turnabout. Now, Turnabout is on another weapon that I really like called the Dead Messenger. If you finish the Catalyst, you use this weapon to pop a shield of a combatant, and it gives you a full overshield. And so that overshield is not very beefy, but it's more health, and that's pretty cool. It doesn't even have to be matching. So if it works the same way Dead Messenger does, you literally just get a kill, or pop a shield of anything, matching or not, and you will get an overshield using this weapon. Given how low the uptime of that is, I'd say it's a much more neutral game perk. So like if you find, like, say a captain, for instance, like a fallen captain, and you pop his shield, you will get an overshield. But I'd say the number of times that happens is too low for the trade-off of losing the damage perks or the extra ability energy. That's my personal take. If you like overshields, which I do, go ahead. It's your gun. You get to craft it. That's what this is for. That's what weapon crafting is for. And the last weapon for the day I'll show you is the Syncopation 53. I absolutely adore this gun. I have put 2,000 kills on it in regular play because I just run around with this thing, and in PvP, it's also a monster. It reminds me of Bygones. 270 something kills there in PvP. Craftable rolls, I would recommend. Um, I would say like the barrel and all this stuff is up to you. It really comes down to what you're playing on. I'm a controller player mainly, so I really like the combination of corkscrew and ricochet, because it has extremely high stability and good enough range. And also ricochet rounds are really cool because they bounce off walls. And the crystals you create, actually. So you can, until you break the crystals with headstone, it does actually ricochet off of them. So you could get more kills and cause havoc using that. I have gotten kills around walls with ricochet rounds and like PvP and stuff. Yeah, and it is very fun to do. In the column 3 traits, I would say it's a duel between moving target, outlaw, and steady hands. Steady hands is a really good perk for all of your weapons. Is that if you get a kill with this gun, everything gains max handling, essentially. So old school quick draw. It is a really good perk that I like on shotguns specifically, because everything is really snappy. In PvE, I would recommend you go with Outlaw, because Enhanced Outlaw actually lasts longer than Standard Outlaw. There's no timer, but it does last like a good 3 seconds longer, I gotta say. And what it does, you get a kill and it maxes your reload speed, and you reload really quickly. And then in column 4, I would say Headstone, because it's unique. It allows you to create crystals when you get precision kills. If you're not going with Headstone for PvP, I recommend Rangefinder. Enhanced Rangefinder only gives handling, so I wouldn't waste your alloys on that. And also, I would not waste an alloy on Enhanced Headstone, because it only gives stability, a little tiny bit of stability. The other perk that I would recommend would be Frenzy, likely, because Frenzy is once you've been in combat for 15 seconds, which is a long time, but whatever. Gun gets 15% more damage, bonus handling, reload speed, so it does give you kind of an outlaw bonus. So I guess an alt god roll for this would be this, but then you lose the coolness of Headstone. The reason I like this roll in particular is because it works really well with Stasis. Anything you freeze would shatter as a Warlock, for instance. Stasis Crystal has an AoE freeze effect, so anything, that was my Discord, anything that you actually freeze would proc Ice Flare Bolts if you shattered them with the crystal. So it's really synergistic with stasis builds. And also the intrinsic I went with was reload speed, because even if you don't have an outlaw kill, I'd say reload is faster. If you reload is better. My other masterwork, even though because I do have outlaw, the thing I might change about this role is I might change that to a range or a handling masterwork on the adaptive. So yes, with that, that is all of the weapons I was going to show for today. Um, I think you can pick up the pattern for Syncopation. It's either world drop or it's given to you. Oh no, okay. So once you do the crafting patterns, you will pattern quests. You will get this one as well, and I do recommend playing with this one. It's pretty fun. I made this on day 1 of Witch Queen, and I've used it pretty much ever since. So I recommend grabbing that. And hopefully for the next time I make this video, I'm going to do one on the Stasis Fusion, because I am very excited that this thing exists, much less that I'm about to get it. I have one more pattern left from the raid to get, and I haven't been lucky enough to quite get it yet. Based on what we've been doing, we are guaranteed to get it next week. I just can't wait. So I will definitely show you guys that. Either Explosive Personality, Thoughtless, or Ragnhild as well, because these weapons are all incredibly useful. This one's kind of a meta, kind of a alt meta right now, and this shotgun is really good in PvP and really useful everywhere else. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you will like and subscribe if this was helpful. And please be sure to stick around for more in the future. Coming soon will be episode 1 of our Minecraft server, Validus MC. I have built some really cool stuff, and I want to show it off to you guys because I'm a little behind on making videos about it. By a little, I mean like I went from having like sticks and stones from episode 1 to enchanted diamond stuff, and I haven't made videos on it, so I'll have to show you guys that. But I hope you'll stick around for that if you're interested as well. Have a nice day.